This video looks at reading order, but it will also bring in some of the other things that we've already looked at. I've made a PowerPoint slide to show some of Liggy's basic commands, things that she can do just because she's told to. And the first thing I'm going to do, which you might or might not be aware of, is I'm going to run an accessibility check on this. In the most recent versions of PowerPoint, you can click on the Review menu and then check accessibility. And you'll see over here it brings up a pane on the right, and in that pane it tells you that there are some errors and some warnings. We'll just have a look at the errors first because this is connected to reading order. So I've got some thought bubbles that haven't been described. I could mark those as decorative, but I'll come back to that in a moment. And I've got a rectangle. Now that may have surprised you. You might have thought it was the photos that had missing alt text, but if I just open that, I've put in some alt text for these for each photo, and you can see those in the pane on the right. I'll close that. So the next thing that is an error is that there's a missing slide title, which again might be surprising because there's the title, Basic Commands. And then I've got this check reading order, and I'm going to click on Verify Object Order. And let's have a look. This is the order that a screen reader would read this in. So it would begin with that picture, then the next picture, then the next picture, then the next picture. So it's going to read all 4 pictures first. Then it's going to read that there are 4 thought bubbles, but they're going to be unlabeled graphics. Then down, up, sit, shake, rectangle 18, basic commands. So it's not reading that in a very sensible order at all. I could use these arrows and move things around to put them in the right order, but I've got some bigger issues here. Like, I don't want it to read thought bubbles, and I've got a thought bubble here and then text that's sitting on top of it. So what I'm going to do is rebuild this slide, but I'm going to do it a bit more effectively so that you can see that working efficiently helps also with your reading order. So rather than just inserting a blank slide, I'm going to insert from the slide master, and I've already set up my slide master with a title bar that I like. So I'm going to insert a new slide, and I'm going to use this custom layout that I've built. So this is now a title bar, and I'm going to put my title in there. And then I'm actually going to go and get my pictures, because I'm just going to copy those. Paste them, and I'm going to go and get my speech bubbles because I actually quite like those. Oops, don't want that. But this time I'm not going to take my text boxes. I'm just going to double click on my speech bubble and type straight in. I can format that. I'll go back to that one. What size was it? 40. That's it. So then this one, double click. That was shake. It's easy enough to just do these individually. There. Okay, so now let's look at this slide. And let's go into reading order. Let's go into this one. So in this slide, the reading order, there were 16 items. In this slide, there's only 9 because we haven't got the extra text boxes. And you'll notice that the speech bubbles, which were unlabeled in this one they're not because they've got text in them. So we've eliminated some of the issues just by building in a more efficient way. So the title is at the top and it's registering as a title because we've used the slide master. Picture 2, we don't want that first. So the first thing we want is that picture. So now let's just move that up. You can drag or you can use the arrows. Then I want this one. So if I click on the screen, it highlights it in the running order. So now I've got title, picture, thought bubble. Then I'm going to have this one, okay, and then this one. So that's that, then that picture, and then sit, and then this one, and then that one. So now those are all in the correct order. I'm actually going to delete the first slide, because if we go back to the accessibility issues, all of these were to do with this slide. It was all about this. So let's just delete this slide and see what errors. Oh, no errors. Well, how cool is that? So what you need to remember from this is that it's better to use a title from the slide master and amend it, and it's better to type into your shapes rather than put a text box on top. And then if you've got many objects on the page, you need to go into the reading order through the accessibility checker to fix them. Just one more thing. If you haven't got that reading order pane, if you've got a different version of Word, if you go into your home menu and on the ribbon go along to arrange and the drop down arrow and go to selection pane. But what you have to remember if you're doing it this way is it reads it backwards. So you need to start at the bottom and read upwards and check that it's correct. So we've got title, picture, thought bubble, next picture, thought bubble, next picture, thought bubble, next picture, thought bubble. And again, you can move those around using the arrow keys or by dragging. So that gives you two different ways that you can sort out your reading order. I will also now show you how JAWS will read that.
Basic commands slide. Slide 1 basic commands. Heading level 1 basic commands. Black Labrador lying down on the lawn. Image. Down. Black Labrador being washed and shaking all the water off. Image. Shake. Black Labrador sitting on a field. Image. Sit. Black Labrador standing on back legs with front paws on a wall. Image. Up.